Well, good morning, everyone. You'll see, I hope you'll see, that we are in the health centre this week. And we're in the health centre because it's Men's Health Week this week. And I'm delighted that we have Mr. Gent after me, and then Herbie and Joe, who are also going to speak a little bit this morning. There's quite an infamous book published in 1992 called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And it says that when the male of our species finds itself in trouble or fearful or threatened, he prefers to keep it to himself. Now that might well be a cliche, but it also really happens to be true. Generally, when women are threatened or by physical or emotional pain, or get fearful or frustrated or angry, they are better at accepting the reality and talking about it. When men and boys get similarly distressed, they're less likely to talk to somebody. Rather than talk it over with their friends, they tend to direct the aggression outwards, dealing with their fear and worries by going on the offensive. And it's one of the explanations why maybe most of the world's violence is carried out by men. One of the reasons for this is obvious. Boys don't cry. Despite that feminization of men in many respects, from the grooming, the fashion, and at least a pretense of social intelligence, parents and society will always unwittingly expect boys to be braver, more buttoned up than girls, from a very, very young age. Toddler boys are discouraged from crying more than girls. At school and beyond, boys are not expected to display vulnerability. Man up, they say. Grow a pair. Stop being such a wimp. And we really feel that boys and men can really feel trapped behind this armour of masculinity. The price of not opening up is considerable. At the most extreme end, men can be so avoidant of their emotions, they're at higher risk of developing stress, high blood pressure, and even cardiac disease. Avoiding talking about or admitting the existence of problems, both physical and mental, means that men and boys are just not getting the help they should be, and at times are dying of really quite treatable diseases because they're leaving it far too late. I and many others can testify from personal experience what huge relief can come from talking about your problems. Not that therapy or counselling is necessarily required for all. Society and culture is changing enormously, and we've seen the likes of the Duke of Edinburgh and other celebrities and sports people who are opening up about their own challenges. And while the last thing we really need is a psycho-babbling sea of Kardashian gushing, the more men that can give voice to their mental state and physical concerns and can speak to their friends and family, the better it will be for their health. So, Mr. Gent is going to flesh this out a bit for us now.
Good morning, everyone. Men's Health Week gives us the opportunity to shine a light on the issues that boys and men face, both in relation to their physical and mental health. Whilst the focus is very much on us males, I feel it hugely important that our female students also take this opportunity to learn more about these issues, so that you can learn how to support your brothers, fathers, uncles, boyfriends, friends in battling the issues they may face. To highlight the major issues faced by males, I want to start by sharing just a few statistics from the government's Men's Health Forum, which are relevant to the Assembly today and to the students of QEH. 67% of males are overweight or obese. Around 1 in 8 men in England have a mental health problem. 4 in 5 suicides are by men, which is the highest cause of death for men under 35. Testicular cancer is the most common cancer in young men and boys aged 15 to 45. Now, this morning, with the help of our vice captains Herbie and Joe, we would like to take this opportunity to address some of these very serious issues and offer some advice to all students, in particular the boys, on how to improve their physical or mental health. I want to start by raising a little awareness over the most common form of cancer found in boys as young as our Year 10 students, testicular cancer. Around about 1 in 250 males will develop testicular cancer at some point in their lifetime. Sadly, the number of men being diagnosed is on the rise, with twice the number of British men getting it now as they did in the 70s. However, the survival rate remains very high, with over 98% in the UK being cured. Put simply, there are two types of testicular cancer, either a slow-growing, non-spreading type or a faster-growing, spreading type. The latter, which is sadly the most common, is clearly the worst of the two. By detecting it early and getting it seen to, you significantly increase your chances of being cured and reduce the potential of it spreading to other organs in your body. The advice here is simple. Check yourself regularly, and if you find a lump, even a tiny one, get it checked out. Amazingly, according to the statistics, 42% of males don't know how to do a testicular self-exam, and up to 40% of men will only go to the doctor when they feel the issue is serious. This is because most males don't discuss health problems, even with their doctor, until they face a crisis, simply because they think a real man would just grin and bear it. We need to live in a world where we can freely talk about men's health issues, both the physical and the mental, without it seeming like a threat to our manhood. Every 2 years, in the month of November, I bully several of my colleagues into growing a Mo to raise awareness and money for Movember, the leading men's health charity. Many of you are also owners of the popular QEH beanies, which were sold a year or two ago to raise money for Oddballs, another charity raising both vast amounts of money and awareness for men's health. I strongly encourage you all to take the time to visit either or both the Movember and Oddballs websites for more information about men's health, including a very clear guide on how to conduct a proper testicular self-exam. So today, this week, I ask you all to take some time to reflect. Reflect not only on your own mental and physical well-being, but also on your friends, your brothers, or other family members. Are you able to admit when you're struggling, or that something isn't quite right with your body? Go to the websites, take the time to learn how to examine yourself. Read the articles written by people who have had their lives turned around by accepting the support around them. Force yourself to make changes, no matter how hard they may be at first. And reflect on how you can be a better friend, a better brother or sister to those special people in your life. Will talking about your physical or mental health be uncomfortable? At first, possibly, probably. But eventually, we can change the dynamic and the stigma against men discussing health. Dialogue about health should be commonplace and encouraged. It may be the conversation that saves a life. Thanks for listening. I will now pass over to Herbie.
Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Herbie and I'm one of the new vice captains of school alongside Joe. So, carrying on from Mr. Gent, I'm just going to talk a little bit about men's mental health. Now, there is quite a worrying statistic on the Movember website, a website that I recommend that you all check out, which is that 70% of men say their friends can rely on them for support, but only 48% say that they can rely on their friends. So what this is clearly highlighting is the fact that men often feel that they themselves can't reach out to others about their feelings. And this is often as a result of the long-standing idea that men should be strong enough not to have to share their emotions and their feelings with other people. So at the moment, we all have a lot of free time on our hands, and although we can't meet friends in large groups, we can still take advantage of the eased lockdown, which allows us to meet outside in groups of 6. So this is extremely beneficial for your mental well-being, and I urge everybody to make an effort to see their friends, given how long we've been out of school, which is actually where you do quite a lot of your socialising. Also, as I mentioned, it is really important to talk about your feelings. So this can be in those groups of 6 outside. It can be with one friend, your parents, counsellors, form tutors, whoever. As long as you're talking about your feelings, this is healthy, especially if you're not in a good mental place. So just speaking to somebody about any bad feelings that you may have will help lift the weight of these feelings off your shoulders, and then people can begin to offer help. It's really important to remember that you can't get help if people don't know you need help, so just make sure you talk about your feelings, especially if they're bad. So get outside, meet your friends, and talk about your feelings in the weeks ahead, because it will certainly be beneficial in these tough times. Now I'm going to pass over to Joe, who's going to speak a little bit more about men's physical health. Thank you.
Thank you, Herbie. And hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Joe, and I'm the other vice captain of school. Now, due to this week being Men's Health Week, I thought I'd just say a few words on the physical aspect of men's health. Taking part in regular physical activity can be great for your health, your well-being, but also reduce the risk of developing diseases such as diabetes and cardiovascular diseases too. But most importantly, taking part in regular physical activity increases your quality of life. A few ideas could be doing an activity you haven't done in a while, such as cycling or running, maybe doing a few daily stretches, or even as simple as going on a walk and getting some fresh air. Simply, try adding more activity to your day and do more of what makes you feel good. These are just a few ideas you could be doing to keeping yourself occupied and healthy during this lockdown. Also, if you have some spare time this week, maybe try doing some of your own research on this very important topic. That's all from me. I hope you and your families are all staying safe, and I also hope to see all of you soon at school at some point too.